Hi guys, it's me again. We're going to do our last section of Chapter 1 right now, which is 1-3 Work Together, which is Cash Payments Journal on page 24 of the textbook. So we're going to open up 1-3 Work Together. And we have a Cash Payments Journal, and then we have some ledgers that we're going to need to post to, okay? So it tells us the Village Music Center has 2 departments, guitars and keyboards. Use page 17 of the Cash Payments Journal. A partial general ledger and accounts payable ledger are provided. Source documents are abbreviated as follows. C for check, debit memorandum DM, purchase invoice P. Your instructor will guide you through the following examples. All right, so first thing, our first transaction is September 5th. So we got September 5th. We paid cash on account for guitars for Peninsula Guitar, covering purchase invoice $358 for $1,150, no discount, check number 241. So our source document is 241. We don't have to put the C because checks, actually 99% of the time, checks are in here. There are a couple exceptions though. So who we are paying is Peninsula Guitar. So we initially bought that on account $1,150. Now we're paying them off. So if we are in the Cash Payments Journal, you're always going to have a number in the cash credit, no matter what. Debits equal credits. There was no discount. We're good to go. Our next transaction then is September 7th. We paid cash for administrative supplies, $120, check number 242. 242. So we're buying supplies, and we have to be specific. They're for administrative, so maybe it's pen, paper, who knows. So we paid $120. So it's going to be a general debit because we're gaining supplies, but we're losing cash because, again, debits have to equal credits. Alrighty, on the 9th, we paid cash on account for keyboards from Magic Keyboards covering purchase invoice $360 for $2,210, less debit memorandum $210, and less a 2% discount. Check number 243. So our check number is 243. Our date is the 9th, and we're paying Magic Keyboards. Now there's a few things we got to do here. So we were initially, we're supposed to pay them $2,210. Well, out of that $2,210, we returned $210 worth of merchandise. We didn't like it. So that leaves us with $2,000. All right, so we were supposed to pay them $2,000. So accounts payable debit's going to be $2,000. Well, we paid early. So to encourage prompt payment, a company might give us a discount so they have their cash to use. So we're supposed to pay $2,000. We paid within less than 10 days, most likely, early, so we're going to get a 2% discount. So you're going to take 2,000, multiply by 0.02, and that's going to give us $40. So we're going to get a $40 discount. All right, and this is for keyboards, so it's got to be under purchases discount, credit, $40 for keyboards. So we're only then paying them $19.60. So again, our 2 credits, you add the 2 up, gives you 2,000, equals your debit. You're in balance, you're good to go. Alrighty. Our next transaction was on September 16th. We paid cash on account for keyboards for Magic Keyboard, covering P361 for $1,800, less a 2% discount, check 244. So we're paying Magic Keyboards again. Magic Keyboards. And this time, we're still buying keyboards. We were supposed to pay them $1,800. Well, we also paid early, so we're going to take $1,800 multiplied by 0.02 to get a discount under keyboards again of $36. So we subtract our $36 from our original amount, the $1,800, so we owe them $1,764. Okay? Our next transaction then is on the 19th. We paid cash on account for guitars to Peninsula Guitar, covering purchase invoice $359 for $16.80, no discount, check number 245. So we're paying Peninsula Guitar. We wrote check 245. We didn't get any discount. We're just paying off what we owed them, which was $16.80. Paying off on account. Remember, we don't write accounts payable because in our column heading it already says accounts payable for us, so there's no need to write accounts payable. Now, this is petty cash. Sometimes people struggle with this because they always want to write petty cash. The only time you write petty cash is when you first initially open up a petty cash account. Petty cash is a little amount of money that a corporation or a business will keep on hand for small payments. Maybe they need to buy a book of stamps or they want to buy pizza for somebody. So it's cash that they have on hand. Okay, so it says we paid cash to replenish the petty cash fund, $64. Out of that $64, $15 were for administrative supplies, $22 for advertising expense, and $27 for a miscellaneous expense. Check number 246. So we're only writing one check for $64. So we're only going to have one number in our cash credit number. We wrote one check for $64. But out of that $64, we spent it on a couple different things. So we spent it on supplies administrative, and that was $15. Then we also spent it on advertising expense. Maybe we put an ad in the church bulletin or something, and that was $22. And then we had a miscellaneous expense, and that miscellaneous expense was for $27. Whoa. There we go. All right, so your three debits, when you add these up, equal your one credit of 64. Again, we just wrote one check, but it was spent on three different things. So now it says, number 2, post the items that are to be posted individually. Okay, so the things that need to be posted individually then are going to be our numbers in our general debit and our numbers in our accounts payable debit, because they will go in our accounts payable ledger. Okay, so we'll just go in order. Let's start with Peninsula Guitar. All right. So there's no drop-down arrows here. They're just listed out for us, which is a little bit easier. So our vendor, Peninsula Guitar, accounts payable debit is $1,150. All right, so our date, of course I forgot to look at the date, was September 5th. So we got the 5th. It's coming from Cash Payments Journal, page 17. So it's going to be CP 17. And we're paying them off, so it's going to be a debit of $1,150. As our account title tells us, our heading tells us $1,150. We currently owe them $2,830, so they're opposite. When they're opposite, we subtract. So we now owe them $1,680. We're going to go back up in our journal, put our post reference of 230 for Peninsula Guitars. Alrighty. Now we're going to go to Supplies Administrative on September 7th. It's coming from CP 17. And it's a debit. We're gaining $120 worth of supplies. 120. They're the same. When they're the same, we add. So we now have $2,680 worth of administrative supplies. We put our account number, 1315, up here in our post reference. Okay, September 9th, we're going to Magic Keyboards. There it is, sorry. September 9th, CP 17. And it's a debit. We're looking at our accounts payable account. It's a debit now of Magic Keyboards, a debit of $2,000. So we did owe them $3,800, so we subtract because they're opposite. We now owe them $1,800. Bring our vendor number up into our post reference, 220. Next, we have September 16th. We paid Magic Keyboards again. So it's the 16th, CP 17. This time we paid them $1,800, or we were supposed to pay them. That's not exactly what we paid them because we had a purchases discount, but that's how much we were supposed to pay them. Well, that's what our balance was. So we have them paid off. So we have to put a 0 in our credit column. All right. We then go up here to 230. Magic Keyboards is not closed. It just means currently we don't owe them any money. So now we go to Peninsula Guitar on the 19th. 19th, CP17. And we paid them $1,680. That's how much we owed them. So we have them paid off as well. So we need to make sure you put your 0 in your credit. Up here. Oh, I'm sorry. This should be 220 for Magic Keyboards. I looked at the wrong one. And then 230 for Peninsula. My fault. All right, so now we replenished our petty cash. So basically we always want to have, I don't know, say $100 in our cash box. So at the end of the month, we're going to replenish it so that we start a new month with $100 in there. Okay, so during this month, we spent $64. So out of that $64, we spent $15 on supplies administrative. So going down here, our date is September 30th, CP17. And we bought $15 worth of more of supplies. So they're the same, debit, debit. So we're going to add, we now have $26.95 worth of administrative supplies. Our $13.15 goes up in our post-ref. Advertising, $22. Date September 30th. Post-reference is CP17. The debit of $22. $22. Now we go back up, 7105 for advertising, and our last one is miscellaneous for $27. Miscellaneous, September 30th. Post-ref is CP17, $27 expense. Our balance is now $27. We put 7120 back up in our journal. Okay. Next thing is prove and rule the cash payments journals and post the totals. All right, so September has 30 days. So it's the 30th. Oops, sorry about that. Just dropped my calculator. Totals. And we're just going down and adding each column up. All right. So our general debit, when we add them all up, is $184. Our general credit has nothing in there. We just leave it. Skip over it. Accounts payable debit, $6,630. We have nothing in purchases discount credit guitars, but we get $76 discount for keyboards. And we paid $6,738. So those are our totals. You're going to make sure to debits equal your credits. So you're going to take 184 plus 6,630. So those are our two debits, which will give us 68.14. Then you're going to take $76 plus 67.38 and make sure that it equals 68.14. So your two debits, these two, need to equal these two. Debits have to equal credits. All right, now we have to post. Well, we don't have to post our general because we've gone through and did that individually, but you do have to then put a check mark, or in this case it would be a V underneath it, to let them know we're not posting that number. We do have to post accounts payable debit in our general ledger under accounts payable. So it's the 30th, CP17, and it's a debit of $6,630. So we owed $85.93. We're paying off a portion of it. So we're still going to owe, they're opposite, we're going to subtract $19.63. Right? We then put our 2105 up here in our journal for our post-reference. We now have purchases discount credit for keyboards. So purchases discount credit. Keyboard, September 30th. CP 17. It's going to be a credit, again, because it tells us in our column heading, purchases discount credit, $76. There was nothing in there, so our balance is now a credit of $76. 5210 goes up in parentheses up here. And then our last one is going to be our cash credit. So we're going to find it. This is weird. I don't know why. There's a little bit of a glitch there, but that's our cash column. CP 17, and it's a credit of 67.38. They're opposite, so we're going to subtract, and whatever number is bigger is what your balance will be. So in this case, it's going to be a debit. So we now have $16,382 left in our cash account. Very last step, put our parentheses, 1105. All right, that is chapter 1 in a nutshell. Everything's posted. You'll make sure you always have a number here or a check mark so that every number is accounted for, hence the name accounting. Everything looks good here. So we're going to go down and over, hit check answer, and we were perfect, 24 out of 24. So you're going to go ahead and do the on your own, and then for chapter 1, we're not going to do the applications. We're just going to do the mastery problem for grade, and then the challenge problem will be there for extra credit if you want to do it. It's not necessary, but if you want to, it's completely up to you. All right, guys, have a good one. Bye.